Hello viewers, welcome to another section of my web series. It has been half a year long that the entire world is covered under the dark shadow of COVID-19. While the frontliners and the healthcare workers are working hard making this world free of COVID-19, others working from home have hopped on to this season of binge watching or marathon of web series and webisodes. One such very controversial web series that was just released on Netflix is the Indian Matchmaking. And this web series has faced brutal trolls on internet, and it has created a lot of thoughts in the youth of Indian culture. And yes, unfortunately, I belong to this society. I belong to this so-called culture. I come from a country where movies like Kabir Singh are a blockbuster on the box office, and such thought-provoking movies like Thappad are a big flop and do not make even quarter of the revenue Kabir Singh makes. Yes, I come from a country in which one-liners like थप्पड़ से डर नहीं लगता साहब, प्यार से लगता है win the hearts of the society. So, while my country is busy solving the murder mystery of a Bollywood actor and busy demolishing the buildings of the people who raise their voice against wrong, or also busy demolishing an entire channel without understanding the importance of the urgency of what needs to be given attention. Today, I thought I would want to talk about not exactly my culture, but our perspective on what is wrong with my culture. Before going into the details of this subject, I would like to make a disclaimer that we are not trying to target any community, any society, any caste, race, sex, gender, and we are not trying to hurt any feelings or trying to say any rituals or rites are wrong. We are just trying to place our perspective about how to stand against the wrong. So for this, I have a very young and enthusiastic friend of mine, Dr. Ashwini Kanade, who has been very active and vocal to stand against the wrong. And she has come a long way by fighting her own struggle and putting an example in front of us. So I would like to welcome Dr. Ashwini Kanade, and I want to thank you wholeheartedly for taking time to talk about something that is not your field. And with that, I would like to request you to go ahead with your background. Ashwini, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, can you please tell us more about your background?
Sure. Thank you. That was a lovely intro. Disclaimer one, I did not watch Indian Matchmaking, and I will never watch Indian Matchmaking. That needs to be said. So I'm a dentist from India. I moved to United States in 2011. I did my master's in aging studies and PhD in communication sciences and disorders, or they also say speech language pathology, from Wichita State University, Kansas. Currently, I'm working as an assistant professor for the Department of Communication Sciences and Disorders, which is also known as speech language pathology, and at Bloomsburg University, Pennsylvania.
That's fantastic. And we have seen your journey and we are really proud of you for all the achievements you have to your profile. So we're really proud of you. And our threads go back to Solapur. So we have known each other since we were kids.
Yep, in school, yeah.
Yeah, so it's very exciting to talk to you about such topics.
Yeah.
So, Ashwini, to start with the topic which I just discussed, what are the things that we people, especially Indians, think are culturally correct and first do it and then blame on the culture or traditions of a country?
So, being proud of your country and culture is one thing, but being proud of something which is blatantly wrong, you can see it is absolutely wrong, and but still being proud of it is unacceptable. Just like there's nothing to be proud of that which is wrong, and you know inside that it is wrong, but still you keep saying, oh, this is the Indian culture, this is our culture. No, that's not how it goes, and that's not how it should go. So, and also the other thing is everyone knows the good and bad about the country. Everyone knows what is the good and bad about our culture. And I would like to share a true story from the master's program. It was spring semester of 2013, and there was this guy from Gambia, the country Gambia, and one day he said, like, hey, I want to ask you a question. And I was like, yeah, what's up? So then he says, yesterday on BBC, I watched what happened in the capital city of India. Is it true? And I was like, I just like stayed and stunned, and then he was talking about the Nirbhaya rape case. So it just did not shook the country. The world knew about it. Somebody in Gambia who's studying in the United States knows about it, right? So at that moment, I'm not going to just say it's like, yeah, no, nothing is wrong. Our country is just this good country. No, what is wrong is wrong. Why did Nirbhaya case happen is another topic of debate and documentaries, and there are many already out there. But we need to think, doesn't it highlight the culture, the upbringing, the status of women in India, and most importantly, the sex ratio? So we need to think about that, and we need to stand up against what is wrong. We need to speak up. Yeah, this is wrong. We have many great things, but this is also there. But having said that, I would also like to tell you that I've met few people who have visited India many times and who visit India often. And I know few people who have migrated to India for good, for spiritual reasons, or for some other reasons. So we need to understand that, we need to respect that, but still we need to not accept the wrong. That's what I think and I believe.
That's fantastically put up, and it is very disheartening when people from our society connect and relate everything to a culture, right from a person and his choice of wearing clothes.
Yes.
So that's very disheartening. And
wearing clothes, your hair. I mean, it shouldn't define
the time when the person should be out. Is also respective to the gender. It's very disheartening. Yeah. And I am not promoting any provocative dressing. I'm not doing that. But you cannot blame a person for wearing what he wants of his choice and then getting a license to rape that person.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. And I think it should be the freedom.
Correct.
Yeah. Independence or freedom rather than
exactly
the culture. Yeah, the culture is, but we'll accept it if we feel like.
Yes, absolutely. So now you have a vast experience of living in United States as well. So while we are talking about our country's culture, does it just make our culture, or is it there are flaws in the culture of any other country, like say America, because you've been here for for almost a decade now?
9 years, but closer. See, so when I say something about Indian culture, it is because I relate to it.
Absolutely.
I relate to it. I relate to everything. And I've gone through all those. We both have gone through every step.
Yes.
So we have spent like 25 or 26 years in India, or more than that. And I often see especially on Facebook, when I have few friends who live in other countries and somebody says something, and it has happened to me as well. One of the things is, why don't you speak about the American culture? Why don't you speak about America? Doesn't America has any flaws? Yes, America has many flaws, but there are many Americans who talk about it. I don't, because I wasn't bought and raised here. I wasn't a part of the, or a part or victim of the wrong.
In
So,
America.
yeah, of the American culture or of America. So I do not relate to it. And the other thing which is often being said, but we both are part of a culture where abusing, embarrassing, and insulting women is equal to raising a girl child right. That's how you raise a girl, by putting restrictions or something like that. Or later in life, it translates into that's what husbands do. And the spot on argument is, well, not all Indian men are like that. I was like, yes, not all Indian men are like that. But you haven't walked in my shoes or somebody else's shoes who has gone through many, who has gone through or who was subjected to abuse or was victim of the wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it takes years to realize that this is not how I should be treated, or I deserve respect.
Yes. Yes.
It takes a lot of years to realize that. It takes somebody else to tell you that, what, you should go and consider therapy. It takes a lot of courage to go and knock the doors of a therapist. It takes many years to get out of therapy. And fortunate ones go and knock and go through the therapy. But there are so many women you and I know who don't even realize what went wrong with them when they were alive.
True. True. Yes.
So, and yeah, I stress back to the same thing. Like, it's different. The upbringing is different. Everything else is different. So though America has many flaws, I do not relate to them. So I cannot speak about them.
Yes. Yes. Had we been taught these things since we were children, and instead of just bowing in front of the idols of the goddesses in the temples and the worship houses in your homes, but understanding that it also needs to be practically implied in your daily lives, things would have been much, much better. And this does not mean that we are conveying the message of being a
Yes.
feminist or being alpha females, but because, okay, I myself am not a feminist. I know there's not going to be equality between males and females. But as you said, we just need respect. We just need to be acknowledged for the efforts we are putting in for bringing up anybody's life, for taking care of anybody's life, may it be personal or may it be professional. So as you put up, we need, yeah, go ahead.
We need to just take care of ourselves. And if we are doing that the way we want it,
Yes.
just leave us alone.
Yes.
I mean, this sounds rude, but do not bombard us with, this is not what our culture says, this is not what you do. I was like, okay, fine, but is the culture right?
No, but this is not even the part of the culture.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
That's true.
It just goes back to the fact that if you don't want a person to do something, you just blame it to the culture.
Culture. Yep, yep,
Yeah.
yep.
So may it be women going ahead and trying to take their own choices, may it be good or bad, right or wrong, but letting them take the responsibility of their decisions.
Hmm.
Our culture doesn't say that that is wrong.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, so there are so many flaws, and I wouldn't say our culture is flawed. It's the people's thought process to relate everything to the culture is a big flaw.
Yep, I
Yeah,
agree. I
yeah.
agree.
So, Ashwini, getting a little closer to your life, what are the facts of life that you are grateful of, and those facts that still came with a price, with came with a lot of struggle? Do you want to share anything with us?
Sure. I'm grateful for education. I'm very grateful for education. And I'm grateful that I had a better life. I was sent to school, I was sent to college, and I often joke, like, I don't think I'm smart. It's just the reinforcements, positive and negative. It's like you have to study. So I'm grateful for that. There are many women who do not even, or girls who do not even get to see the gate of a school. And I'm grateful I was sent to school and college, and that's why I can be called as a literate woman. That came with a lot of hardships and a lot of fights in life. And so I had to fight at every step. And that fight was either restrictions or just like you put up with it. So, and there are many other women, as I said, like who don't even see the doors of a school. And maybe I cannot relate to that because I know what education or schooling does to you, but I can relate to the struggle for independence or struggle for freedom. You know,
Correct.
in some ways, moving to United States was freedom or independence to me. I reclaimed my wings back in 2018. That was a huge moment of like, and I lived in a girls' hostel in India. Maybe there it's like there were no restrictions at all, apart from the time when you come back to the hostel, the ordinance restrictions. So that was freedom or independence to me. So maybe somebody else did not walk in my shoes. You might not understand or I might not understand to the other women's struggle in India or in the other girls' struggle in India. But my point is, we have to stand up for what is wrong. And we have to support who is fighting. And if we can't support, we need to stop arguing.
Thank you.
We just like, that's fine, we get it. You cannot support me, that whatever your problems are, I get it, but do not argue with me.
Right.
With me or some, I mean, I'm just talking for the rest of the
Sure.
plan, you know.
Yeah.
And that's my point. We need to stand up against what is wrong. And if somebody is doing that, just support. And if we can't, just let them be and just let them live their life.
Totally. I'm totally with you on this because we both being single women, we know what we go through,
Mhm.
what is our daily struggle.
Yep.
Although outside we know we have good jobs and we have good education, we know what we have gone through to come until here. And with this and with your consent, I'm going to say that on the media, like on the digital media today, like although we are single and we are in our mid 30s, we would request you earnestly, we would request you all, stop asking us when are we getting married.
When are
Stop,
we having children?
yes, stop asking us if we have a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Stop asking us if we are available for dating. Just because we are at this age where, according to Indian culture, we are supposed to be married and we are still not, there are some reasons. Nobody wants to be alone. Everybody
And
wants.
no, I want to add the most important thing.
Yeah.
Do not suggest us some of your cousins or some of your family friends, son or a nephew or whosoever. We'll figure it. We'll figure it out. We'll figure our own loneliness. Yeah, please stop us asking about.
No, I mean,
We'll only
as,
figure out marriage.
as Ashwini just said, if you cannot support us, if you cannot realize what goes in our minds when you ask these things, stop asking. And myself, I am answerable to only those people who have been supportive to me, have understood me, have been with me in my goods and bads. So I am only going to answer them. So stop.
Okay, this
No Tom, Dick, and Harry can come and ask us if when are we getting married or why are we not married. It is our choice and it's our responsibility.
We have talked a little bit serious, and we are like those rebellious women. So I have a funny story to share. So the last time I was in India, my grandparents and my parents, we have this huge Radha Krishna temple. And I was there after 10 years to celebrate Lord Krishna's birthday. And there was there's this lady who was literally meeting me after 10 years. And she is a retired Marathi teacher, high school teacher from a government school, and she says, like, you don't have a kid? And I was like, no. So when are you planning? When are you going to have a kid? And then I was like, I was just pointed outside the door and I was like, did you see the population of the country? Like, aren't you happy with that? That's that. I was just like, she was like, yeah, you're still the same. I was like, yep, still the same. So that's my art. Like, every time anybody asks me, like, why don't I have a kid? I just say, is like, aren't you happy with the population of the country? And then the argument is like, United States. I was like, we'll figure it out about that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So it's not off. I wouldn't aggressively say it is offensive, but what happens with me is everybody looks at me and asks, so are you there with your husband? Did you go to America with your husband? No, I went myself.
Yeah, I went myself. Yep, I came on my own visa.
Yeah.
My visa.
Yeah, I have my own green card. So no, I mean,
Yeah.
there are other ways for women to go outside the country.
Exactly. And the other thing which I've been told is, like, get married to a citizen. You will get a green card. Okay, I'll get my own green card. And if not, there are so many countries in the world. I'll choose something. I can move somewhere else and I'll do what I want to do.
So yes, as you said, I have my friends. I have a very close friend who is married to an American, but she got green card on her own profile.
Yeah.
I have a friend who will get a green card and her husband will have a green card because of her.
Yeah.
And the husband is also that supportive. So that's the kind of society we are dealing with here. But then when we go back to India, it is, I I just have my mindset that this is going to happen and just deal with it because you are there. And I am extremely fortunate and very, very lucky. And I thank God for this, that I have an extremely supportive family. My mother, my father, my younger brother, and my relatives. They are extremely supportive. So I cannot thank God enough for this. Yeah,
It's a blessing.
it's
Yeah.
definitely a blessing. Yeah.
Few are blessed and few are not. So, and when I say, it's like when somebody is talking about something, if you can't support, you don't know what the person is going through, as has gone through, and why he is speaking, why he or she is
Exactly.
speaking up.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Yeah. So, Dr. Kanade, it was fantastic to connect with you like this today. And I'm just going to throw an idea on this right session right here. I would like to do a scientific session with you as well sometime down the line, whenever we both have time and as per our conveniences. And I'll definitely would like to have you again on my show. So thank you very much for giving the inspiration to all youth, not just females, to come up and raise their voices against wrong, because this is what the world needs today. So thank you very, very much for
No
this
problem.
lively session, and thank you very much for letting me vent out thoughts in my mind as well. Without this platform, I wouldn't have vented out.
Yeah, that's fine. That's very sweet and kind of you. You thought of me, and
Absolutely,
you
Ashu,
didn't
you're
have
always
to
in my
plan
mind.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
we did this, and yeah,
yeah.
thank you.
Thank you. So, viewers, thank you very much for supporting me through my series, and keep watching my uh, show for such inspirational and motivational videos. With that, I would like to take your leave. Thank you again, Dr. Kanade, and see you again.
See you. See you.